Quiet.
All right.
Hi, everybody. This is John. I'm here with Timmy and Bill Koeb and Chris Payne. And looks like we're limited on the spotlighted videos tonight. We might Dale Stefanos might join us, but everybody's prepping. A lot of the people that draw with us also teach, and they're kicking off their semester next week or the week after, and they're all
No comment.
yeah, yeah. Or they might be kicking off their programs.
Yeah.
And then we'll get all their students next week.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, a couple of fun things to talk about, and I really appreciate Bill Koeb and Chris Payne. They're both going to do at least 2 drawings in front of you tonight, so which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So let me move forward here. Our next semester doesn't start till October 10th, but we got 2 short classes this start. One this Sunday, which is my foundations class. And it is really the things that I believe are critical to understanding picture making, to the beginning, a great starting place to figure out how to move forward as a picture maker. We start with learning effective lighting and shooting reference and doing a head drawing. The second assignment, we're working on a figure. We do some figure drawing. And the third assignment is we put a complete picture together. All that happens over a 5-week period. The class that starts, Brent Watkinson's class, which starts on Tuesday night, his color theory class, is absolutely phenomenal. I sit in on this class all the time. He introduces artists, new artists I haven't heard of before. He's always bringing, pulling examples of their pieces, but he's breaking color down and making it really simple for you to understand and to apply. And it's very functional color. It's about using color as a picture maker. Great class, and that class starts on Tuesday night. So
yeah, only thing I'll add to that is you can still enroll. You have until end of day tomorrow, and you'll notice the payment plans on those are available. There is a lending. We work with a firm, and you can attend those classes for as little as $53 a month. Really, really great options there. Highly recommend checking it out.
Here's our live drawing, our Thursday night live drawing that we're here live right now. I post this thing every time, and I love it. It's like starts people that we've spotlighted their videos before. It starts up the top left is George Pratt, Audrey Benjaminson, Gil Ashby, myself, John Foster. I have a menu in the way I can't see it. Brent Watkinson, Hector Casanova, Bill Koeb, Don Kilpatrick, Ashley Lovett, Vanessa Del Rey, Dale Stefanos, and Ray Bonilla. And there's one missing, and it's this guy who did this drawing of the Wade brothers that we used their artwork for a full month. We've used their photography for a full month that we drew here. So how many? So that's, we did 16 poses of 16 different images of their pieces, of their work. Chris has done a little bit of work on it since last week. So this is where the piece is right now. Absolutely phenomenal. And Chris, is this where it is right now?
I think I may have added a little bit more, but it's pretty much done.
I love this thing. It's just gorgeous. It just kills me. I mean, people who haven't done it before, a double portrait is hard. Single portrait's hard. Double portrait's really hard. And to nail it so quickly it just floored me that you did that. Absolutely love it. Tonight is our second week of drawing Timmy's father's photography of when he was in the traveling with the Cousteau Society through the Amazon. Here's a picture of Timmy's father, and Jacques Cousteau. And Timmy, I'm going to kind of turn it over to you to talk about the photography a little bit.
Yeah, no, thank you. And this is really exciting. It's been really fun. We've each month, it's been, I think, a challenge to find new photography. We keep raising the bar. We kind of went pedal to the metal with the Wade brothers, and it's like, how do you? Now we've got to keep topping that. And we know my dad won't sue us. So
Careful.
and
Careful.
yeah, no, right? No, and the photos are the photos. That being said, the photography is amazing. So my dad has this really incredible story. I know some of you who tuned in last week heard probably the more extended version of it, but essentially he was operating a small print shop out of the basement of the house that I am currently on the patio of. And he was about, I want to say he was 30 years old and felt very trapped in this world of printing business cards, and he wanted adventure and excitement, which of course that's kind of how the English and the Trayvon families collided. I think Mark introduced him to a lot of these adventures, but his dream was to travel with the Cousteau Society, which, if you're not familiar with the Cousteaus, they're how people tapped into nature, especially the ocean, in a pre-Shark Week world, right? They were the first to really venture under the ocean. He was the first to put a camera underwater. He was the inventor of the aqualung, and basically they were traveling to parts of the world really as early as I believe the 1930s, because he won his documentary The Silent World, won him an Academy Award. So he was as recognizable as you can possibly be globally. And my dad, he was this iconic figure to my dad. And after a really extensive journey, my father's dream was to travel with the Cousteaus, and he wrote a lot of letters. He had a lot of there's a story of him bribing a security guy to get him to go behind stage during a lecture to meet with one of them. Like a dozen stories like that. Finally, at one point, the Cousteaus were like, all right, this guy's kind of interesting. Let's let him tag along. And so at one point, he kind of earned his stripes to go on an expedition with the Cousteaus, and they brought him to Brazil, and he traveled roughly 8,000 miles collectively along the Amazon River in the early 1980s. I believe this was 1981 or 1982. It spanned several months. His job was to drive one of the FJ40. Is it FJ40, John, that he's driving?
Yeah, Land Cruiser.
The FJ40 Land Cruiser. He was driving it. He was completely unqualified to be there. On top of the fact that he wasn't French, which made him a sore thumb of the crew. And he brought his camera along with his own film, and he was offered to bring, he was told, bring Cousteau equipment. They'll give you a camera, they'll give you the film. He wanted to bring his own film. So, which is one of the amazing things about this, is to this day, he owned the rights to all of this photography, which was really exciting, because a lot of people, a lot of this photography kind of was forgotten and lost. And so the photos we're looking at tonight they're photos from those adventures he went on. And about halfway through, I've got a couple. John, I've got your dad's portrait. I found a scan of it.
Oh, good.
So I'll pull it up. But yeah, these are just photos from the journey. I don't know the stories of all of these photos. There's thousands of them. Bill, last week you asked, when did I realize my dad was a good photographer? And it was like, honestly, I wanted to be like, at the start of this meeting. It really kind of blew my mind. He is very talented. He passed away in 2018. He was a partner with this school, really helped us get started and find this iteration of online education. So he really believed in the arts. And so this is a really very special thing to do. So I appreciate all of you drawing his photography. He would have loved it a ton. And the only thing I would say is if you're drawing with us for the first time tonight, please go to the website and just go to /photos. You'll see a link that goes right to the photos we're going to be drawing. Chris Payne is kicking it off. I think I hit it all. Please share your work. Please share your work as you're drawing. And if you want to learn more about my dad's stuff, his Instagram handle is still gaining followers. So if you go to @TimTrayvon, I'll share it. You can check it out because you'll see a ton of cool photos.
It will make you jealous of his life
Oh
experiences.
man,
The things that he did in his life and accomplished, absolutely amazing. I still,
and it's a really sweet story because he was 30 years old and he was living in the same house with his mom, running a kind of a rinky-dink print business, and he went on while he was on these adventures. That rinky-dink printing business nearly went out of business because he left it so he could go on this adventure, and it's really amazing because I've actually reconnected with a few of the people that he was traveling with coincidentally recently, and it's really amazing because it seems like it was this magical moment in all of their lives where it was an incredible adventure. So thank you. Sorry for being long-winded.
no, that's okay. That
Yeah.
that rinky-dink printing business grew up to be a really stellar business, and your father ran it for 50 years.
Yeah.
They celebrated his 50th anniversary just a few months after your father passed away. And what was very cool, the night of the celebration, that Jean-Michel Cousteau came to the anniversary.
Yeah. I'll say one thing. So my dad, this photo was taken. This is one of the first photos of him with Cousteau, and Cousteau had never heard from him. He just heard about him, and they treated him. The vibe that I got from it was they treated him like he was a super fan, not like, our business connection in Kansas City. He was a super fan that was writing fan letters saying like, please let me do business with you or whatever. And he, when he first met Jacques Cousteau, I think it was this like starstruck moment. And Jacques Cousteau walked up to him and he goes, "So Tim, I've heard a lot about you." And I thought that was just such a great, I don't know, that's a great like meet story,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, he also ended up being the CFO of the Cousteau Society for over 20 years.
Yeah, and I think when they gave him that title, they didn't realize how his business was doing at home. So he told me one time, he goes, "I really learned financing on the Amazon River." So anyways,
Well,
that's kind of a little bit of a story. Yeah, a little bit of a story for tonight, for tonight's photography.
All right, so Chris is up next, or up first.
Which image will we be doing? We've got two that we selected. You guys go ahead and select whichever one you want me to draw from.
Chris, it's dealer's choice, and okay. I'm gonna say that you're the dealer.
Okay.
So, with the cigarette first.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going with.
Okay.
I would do the same thing. It's funny.
So I'm gonna draw on the gray stock today for that one.
And I haven't said this. I'm actually, because I did the Thomas Blackshear lecture this weekend out in Colorado Springs. I'm still in Colorado, and I'm not drawing tonight. This is the first time I've been here, not and not drawn. So this is
Yeah.
a little different. This is Timmy's perspective.
Yeah. The awkward silences are more noticeable when you're not drawing.
Well,
Okay,
Yeah.
who's got the stopwatch? Because I'm ready to go.
I got it. Tell me when you're ready. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. You're on.
This is my first time drawing with glasses on in a long time, so I'm glad I'm not going first.
This
Bill,
is the time you're drawing
it
with
doesn't
glasses.
bother me so much to not draw with glasses on. It just bothers me to look at it afterwards with my glasses on.
Yeah,
Also, the one thing I've got to mention is you'll notice we got Bill and Chris tonight. These are the diehards of illustration isolation. I don't think they've either out of probably like 20. I mean, Bill, you went to the presentations too.
yeah.
I bet you've gone to 30 plus illustration isolation events
I
with them.
have. I almost dropped in last night. I don't know if you guys were doing the.
Oh,
We did study hall last night. It was amazing.
Yeah, I
Bill,
almost.
Haley
Bill,
Eric.
Bill, I've talked with you more than my mom and my family this whole quarantine.
Last night in study hall, we had John Foster, Brent, Lake Hurwitz, and Haley Herrick dropped in, and she was fantastic. And so there were 3 or 4 or 5 concept art students that were in there, and it was just spectacular that they got to focus on their work.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really good. So, Chris, you're drawing with Prismacolor?
I'm just drawing on gray stock with right now chestnut Prismacolor. I'm just kind of blocking in real fast.
You
Trying to get general shaping.
you were the first person I heard say this one time when you were doing a demo at the Academy, suggesting that, hey, I want you to look at the face, and like we do gesture drawing, I want you to look at the gesture of the face. And
Yeah. That's absolutely true. Faces have gesture, hands have gesture. Everybody gets the fact that a model posing has gesture. You get that, but a face has gesture to it. It's unquestionable.
You pull that gesture out pretty incredibly well.
It's funny, John, occasionally we've had people, if there's something, a dated photo has maybe something in it that we've used that people would say, I wish you hadn't chosen that photo. And for Chris, what Chris is drawing right now, I was I was thinking of like the photoshopping the candy cane in the mouth instead of the cigarette.
And this is the thing where I draw. Because my drawing table's on the other side. And
Yeah. So
it goes.
So everybody, we're not supporting cigarette smoking.
This is historical accuracy.
It's historical accuracy. If you want to draw a candy cane, that's fine. You can correct it. You can censor it for
Don't
us.
smoke, kids.
Yeah, don't smoke.
oh, okay, great. And Angela got it. She was looking for the photos, but there's a link.
Yeah.
Aaron put it in there. Thank you, Aaron.
Yep.
Well, maybe we could say this is the Marlboro Man for the CBD world.
There we go. Nobody said it was tobacco. He was just way ahead of his time. He was.
There was a time. There was a time like everybody smoked in the 70s, and
First,
it's just like
Yeah, this is.
it was rare that I knew an adult that didn't smoke.
I can remember shortly after I graduated from high school, my high school set up a smoking room for the students.
Crazy.
Chris, I heard about the logic with the smoking room was that the kids were leaving school and because they were telling them they couldn't smoke at school, and finally someone was just like, all right, we just gotta let them smoke here.
I think so. My high schools, I went to 2 different high schools. Both of them had
Yeah.
smoking lounges for the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my high school had a smoking area.
Do they still have the airport? The little what is it, like a arboretum of like a little where you have like a little glass uh, biodome for smokers? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen
Yeah,
those?
I'm talking about.
You know, back when I was doing the Reader's Digest back covers, I had an idea where, you know, like when you go to the zoo and you go by one of the glassed-in areas for the orangutans or whatever
Yeah.
it would be. That's what I wanted it to look like. So it was like these people they're at the airport, but they're looking at the people smoking.
Oh yeah.
Like, and of course have the people who are smoking their shoulders slumped a certain way. But they rejected that idea because they thought it looked too much that I was endorsing cigarettes. I was going, when I make these people looking as bad as they look, it's not going to be endorsed.
I think at some international airports they still have them. They're like little tobacco terrariums.
Well, no, you go over to Europe. I mean, people.
Oh yeah.
It's just. What always gets
It's
me.
a suggestion.
You go over to Europe and you see all these people smoking, and yet they look healthy. You know, it's just, what the heck is it with Europeans and the way they smoke?
Yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover, Chris. It's just riddled.
Timmy, you can probably say the same thing, but we're 30 years difference in age. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. And I've done it because I despise.
I wish I could say the same thing, but I don't smoke, and
I did completely despise. Both my parents smoked, and they would smoke at the dinner table. I couldn't stand it.
Oh,
yeah.
So like the last thing I wanted to do was smoke.
Yeah, it's a terrible, terrible thing. If anybody's thinking about it, I highly recommend against it.
There are these restaurants here in town that are these old school. I mean, they've been around forever, like these old steakhouses.
Yeah.
And they've got low ceilings and these old bars and the way they're lit and everything. You can see they've been around since like 1942. And even some of the staff looks like they've been around since 1942.
John, it's pretty amazing you never smoked a cigarette, though.
But
given the time that you grew up in,
yeah,
no peer pressure.
Yeah, I just didn't like it.
But the main
I've
thing,
done a lot of other dumb things to make up for it, so we'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
and it always amazes me when you go into those places and think there was a time you would go into those restaurants and people were smoking.
Yeah.
Chuck, you got it, man. Yeah, I mean, anybody that knows to be trapped, like in a car or at the breakfast table. I mean, it just seems so unappealing to me.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the, make your kids smoke a carton of cigarettes or something and get them sick and they won't want to smoke. And
yeah, I think the correction, John, should be is you have smoked a cigarette, but
yeah, just not voluntarily.
You just weren't holding it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
There's a great episode of The Simpsons where Bart was it was Family. What was the other one?
Family Guy.
Family Guy, and he forced his son, which is I apologize, I can't remember. It's been years since I've seen it. He had stopped smoking years ago, and he thought what he could do was break his son to stop smoking by forcing him to smoke a pack of cigarettes. And all it did was get him addicted.
Someone says King of the Hill.
King of the Hill. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Bobby. You mean Bobby?
Bobby. And I'm not going to go into any more detail on it because it's kind of off color, but it was very funny.
Oh, Bobby.
Bobby.
Oh, Bobby. God dang it. That reminds me of my Texas days when I lived in Texas. That's exactly the way it was.
Yeah, both Peggy and Hank got hooked. I like that.
God dang it, Bobby.
This is the Bill
Wow.
and Chris show tonight.
Can you say Bobby again?
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 push me. Now they're getting on me, John. Help me, help me, help me.
I gotta say, John, this is kind of it happened very organically, but this is kind of the cage fight.
Oh, great. I'm in a cage fight with Chris. Thanks a lot.
Sorry, Bill.
No,
Sorry, Bill.
Bill, you're hanging. It looks
Kind
great.
of.
I like
Yeah.
it. What are you drawing with? Is it Conte or is it pastel?
Yeah, Conte. It's
I really like it. It's got you kind of got a Bob Peak feel to the texture.
thanks. I one of the drawings I did last week, I really liked how it came out. Well, it was the only one I really liked how it came out, and it had a looseness to it that I was like, I'm gonna try to just leave this. But thanks. I was drawing Steve Bannon earlier today.
Yeah, I saw it.
I was thinking about Chris when I was drawing that. I was wondering how he would have handled. I did two of them, and it just made sense to make his eyes really huge.
I think Steve's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, let's really open up that conversation.
Yeah, let's keep that at bay.
I saw a thing this week that was a quote that said, "The quote of 2020." Can you see my screen now?
Wait, I can't. Hold on.
No, I'm joking, Bill. It's just like the most said thing this year.
Oh,
Can you see my screen now?
yeah, I can see your screen. Not.
How do it sound?
Your mic's not on. Yeah, that's great.
Do you remember, Chris? Do you remember Robin Eli?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, doing wonderful as a painter. Really, really nice guy from Australia, from Adelaide, Australia. And he came to the academy a couple of times, and then I asked him to come back and talk to the students. He was having a lot of success, and he was a really good-looking guy. And we were always joking about, he's always fixing his hair, he's always doing something. And whenever there was an opportunity, a potential for like a model with their shirt off, as it needed a muscular guy, he'd be the first one to volunteer. His shirt would be, he'd be walking around. And so
That's hilarious.
Brent pointed the camera at him, and he jokingly started to take his shirt off. And we all laughed and thought, yeah, real funny, Robin. But when it came down to right when we were about to start, he just did it. And it was so natural. He kind of looked at the camera and then looked back at me and goes, how's my hair? It was so great. It was so honest.
Oh, man, but you guys got him a few times.
Oh my gosh, we tortured him.
That's
Hiding the digital printer on him.
Oh, yeah.
We had a
Digital camera.
yeah. No, it was
Yeah, it was the projector.
the projector. Yeah, the digital projector. So, Chris, what are you back to? Is that burnt umber or is it black? I can't.
Yeah, this is like a sepia.
Yeah.
Just to get some dark into this. Now I'm going to come up into here. If I have time, I may stick a little paint on this.
You may not. You have 7 minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay.
But if you need like another minute or two, we can do that.
All I really want to do is block in a little bit of that background.
Now, when you're thinking about these now, do you approach them like thinking, oh, I'm going to be adding paint to them? Are there things you have to do? Do you go a little bit darker in places?
Well, yeah.
Paint?
If you're going to cover something with some paint, you gotta have enough saturation that you're not going to blow it out. Definitely have to have that.
Well, that's one of the things that I see. It's a huge learning curve for people, students, when they're learning new materials or just doing anything to set yourself up. You know, you have practice doing something over and over again. You know what to do to prepare for the finish, and you know, sensitivity. You know what to leave out, what to put in, how far to push, and a lot of that's just learning the medium itself.
Well,
Right?
and drawing enough and making enough mistakes in the process. I mean, you learn as much from your mistakes. And, you know, you've heard me refer to it before with students where they draw like they're diffusing a time bomb. You just don't worry about it. You know, just go ahead. If it fails, it flops, learn from it. You learn from it. That's the important part. I cannot tell you how many bad drawings I've done, thousands of them, but I try my best to make sure that when something flops and it goes wrong, I learn from it and I don't make the mistakes over again.
Well, just in our drawing nights, you know, this is really kind of fun for me, not to watch, not to draw. I'm having fun watching you draw. But just in the drawing nights, I got a stack of these from, you know, the last 4 months of us doing this.
Yeah.
Some of them not very good. A couple of them all right, but it's you know, it's part of it.
Yeah, and you just that's the thing. I mean, what's that? The old joke, you know, Doc, every time I do this, it hurts, then don't do it, you know? So, okay, you mess up, don't do it. Learn from that.
Yeah.
But that's what you try to do. So I'm just see what happens here.
That's really looking cool, Chris. See, I'm at the point where I don't really know what else to do with this because I could easily screw it up by overworking it,
Right?
you know, and usually there's like 3 or 4 people to watch, you know, to watch drawing. And I'm sort of like practicing looking at it, you know, with and without my glasses on, just to kind of see it. John, you say you don't like your drawings without your glasses on or with your glasses on?
I was just saying it. I said you can surprise yourself by drawing without your glasses, but
Yeah.
it's looking at your paintings with your glasses that gets dangerous.
Yeah, it's true. I remember when I first got glasses, I was about 26, and I looked at things I had done that I thought were really smooth, and I was surprised at all the texture and marks in them that I didn't see.
Bill, I didn't wear glasses until I was 50, which was almost a decade ago. And my eyes went bad, like just in a period of a couple months. And so I went out and I got contacts.
Yeah.
And I put the contacts in, struggled with them like crazy. And when I brought them home, put the contacts in, and looked in the mirror, and I was like, I like gasped. I was like, oh my God. My wife's like, comes walking in the room, is like, what's the matter? And I said, I look like I'm 20 years older than I thought I was, because I couldn't see very well without my contacts. And she immediately looks at me and covers her face, and she says, for God's sakes, don't look at me.
Oh.
It was really cute.
That's funny. That is cute. I just remember noticing freckles on people that I never noticed. I'm like, oh my God, these people, you know, there's wrinkles there. And but my eyes have changed. I had an astigmatism, and that's mostly gone, and now I'm just farsighted. So if I want to read a book.
Well, this experience of drawing like this is more fun for me than drawing from a live model right now, because my glasses, they're fine for looking at the paper, my drawing, but then I got to look 12 feet away and at the model.
Yeah,
and I have to look, and I don't need glasses to do that, but it's
Right.
it's in a really low light situation. And by the end of the drawing session, my eyes are exhausted. I can't focus sometimes because I'm just bouncing back and forth so much. It's difficult.
Yeah, no, I can relate to that.
I need to get my wife has them, the 3 different levels, not the trifocals.
Oh yeah.
but I can't, man. I've tried them. I just tried hers, and I can't get used to them at all.
I can't do the trifocal thing. I can't. It's just,
We got about a minute and a half left, Chris. Do you want me to add?
No, I'm okay. We're fine.
I was just gonna ask, what should we draw next?
Well, next one is Bill's. So it's whatever his choice is. See, all I really wanted to do is get a little bit of this. And so with some luck, I've got enough that I can start going back in here with a little bit of color here.
Chris, were you going to draw the guy with the University of Florida shirt too?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the only one because I or else the guy that's in profile. You know, the guy
Profile's great.
Oh.
Someone should definitely draw the profile.
And that's why I said, I mean, I've got both of those, so you pick whichever one you want.
Okay. I don't know. I can't see the other reference right now, but
What did you?
a great face.
Bill, you want me to choose, Bill?
Sure, that's fine.
I've got two options.
Well, do the profile one
The
next.
profile's a good one.
Chris is going to draw it anyway because he'll be drawing.
Sounds good.
All right.
And before we go to the next one, I was gonna.
It just started raining here.
Well, I think it only matters if it rains where Timmy is.
That's true.
Exactly.
He's sitting outside.
Oh, that's cool, Chris. I love that blue in the shirt.
Okay, the timer just went off, but I want Chris to work for like another minute or so. I want to see him do this.
Yeah.
Is that gesso or is that acrylic?
Yeah, this is just gesso.
That's fantastic, Chris.
That is so cool.
That looks great.
That's awesome.
Really pull that together. Awesome.
All right, man.
All right.
Here, keep it going for a second. Buy me 30 seconds.
Okay. Throw some more dark in there, Chris.
Everybody's an art director.
All right, I'll be right.
I'll give it a try, Glenda. Thank you. Progressives.
Let's see. Okay,
Chris,
cool.
You could probably get like a job like at a, well, like where your son, Worlds of Fun, something like that, doing caricatures.
I would, yeah. As a matter of fact, I've already volunteered myself for my local chapter of our Elks one time as a fundraiser to do some caricatures.
Well, there's a drawing.
There you go, man.
Right?
Absolutely.
Correct me if I'm wrong, John. Is that the portrait?
That's the portrait my dad did of Jacques in
Oh,
70.
wow.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
There you go.
That is amazing.
So that was the beginning of trying to convince the Cousteaus that they should befriend this Tim Trabon guy. I found the whole portfolio that they had put together to present this to Captain Cousteau. I don't know that he ever saw it, but it's really cool.
Well, the feedback my dad got from it is that he doesn't like to see images of himself.
Right. It was like they just missed some crucial information.
You could have done it of anything else, but
Right. Right. Yeah. No. It cracked me up. But here's some more photos though. So that's my dad in the middle, and that's the FJ40 that he was driving through the Amazon. And I found this photo, which I thought was cool. It's one of the only photos I found where it is clearly day one
Yeah.
with the FJ40, right?
I showed the photo
Yeah.
of day
Yeah.
two.
Well, I found the photo of how day two happened.
So, geez. Oh, man.
Right. Yeah. There's about a dozen. And what I love about it is there's the guy on the left. You can see that this is in the middle of crisis because he's running. Right.
That first photo.
Oh, yeah.
Your dad
Yeah.
told me, because I've owned a couple of those FJ40s, and
Yeah.
when your dad got his, he said he wanted one like he had in Brazil, and he said it was funny looking at it. He said pretty much, he said, you know, the Land Cruiser was up front at the beginning. He said on the way back, he said the vehicle in the back pretty much drug the Land Cruiser back.
Oh yeah. Well, the Iveco was a what's the word for amphibious vehicle,
Yeah.
and so they would go through the jungle, then they'd go into the river. It was this wild thing. And what's crazy to me, I didn't even think about it until I showed this photo, is that thing was gonna follow that.
Yeah. 10 times the weight.
Yo, 10 times the weight, right? Yeah. I don't know. Did he ever tell you that they came to Kansas City one time, and the Cousteaus did, and my dad was really upset. He got a ticket for driving a pickup truck on Ward Parkway because he said you used to not be able to. I didn't know that.
Wow.
You used to not be able to drive pickup trucks on Ward Parkway.
Wow.
At one point. Maybe someone in the audience will like debunk this, but he was really upset about it, and so his plan was he wanted to get a ticket driving the Iveco on Ward Parkway. And so he said he drove it up and down Ward Parkway for like an hour, just wanting to get pulled over in the Iveco. He said nobody ever pulled him over. But yeah.
That's funny.
Anyways,
Matthew,
I just wanted to share that.
Hey, can you share that Cousteau drawing again?
Oh yeah.
Matthew Shield asked a question about it. I'll try to.
Here, 1 second.
I'm sure, Matthew, I draw with a lot of the same materials. It's graphite sticks and just pencil. Graphite pencils and graphite sticks.
I love that softness that you do it. Your dad does it as well.
He's probably drew this on vellum. Or maybe not. I don't know. He did a lot of drawings. He did a lot of drawings on vellum, and they were very soft.
It reminds me of the John Denver cover.
Oh yeah, yeah. That one was
Yeah.
definitely he did used linseed oil. It was a transfer, and it's pretty amazing process that he did.
Yeah.
All right, so Bill.
Yeah. So I've got the photo, and
Cool. Yeah. Everybody in the audience, remember to hit refresh on the page so you can see the new photo.
So just.
So, Bill, are you doing the profile?
Yeah, I'm doing the profile.
Cool. Okay, man.
Yeah. It's a great profile.
Isn't it?
It's an unbelievable photograph. Timmy, I'm just sitting here thinking of opportunity lost. My dad did all the last, oh, I don't know, 5 or 6 years of his life. He probably painted 150 or 200 American Indians paintings that related to their uh, clothing, paraphernalia, all kinds of things.
Right.
It would have been really interesting for him to use your dad's your photo reference.
Yeah.
That would
It certainly would have also expanded into a whole other culture of it. Just
absolutely,
you
yeah,
know,
absolutely. But it would.
yeah.
I'm just surprised that we would have gotten there if they were both still around and we were doing this. But I don't think they ever made the connection. It would have been a really cool. What's the right word?
Convergence.
And, yeah. Um,
Oh, my dad would have commandeered this thing from us. He'd be putting together presentations
oh, I know.
for everybody. You know, we'd be doing we'd be doing dress rehearsals right now.
I could hear him right now. I get a phone call about 5 minutes before we started. Hey, John, you can't talk tonight. Bye.
I'll take it from here.
Yeah.
Thank you for the audience. Yeah.
I miss him. He was a great guy.
Oh man, miss him a ton.
This is a
So
great
funny.
way to connect with your memories, you know.
Oh, totally. Totally.
Keep your dad alive in a way, you know.
Oh yeah.
And both of your fathers too, you know. It's nice to hear all these stories.
What was the
No, I mean I keep seeing the artwork getting posted of his photography, and I'm like, oh, I need to message that person and buy it. And then I'm like, I can't buy it all. It's so great. It's so cool. It is. It's like, oh man, yeah. It is crazy how many people in this room are wildly talented.
oh man, what a good drawers.
Like, not talking about the panel. The panel's a whole other thing, but yeah. Earlier I was like, is this a, hey, does anybody in the audience play bass? You know, like I kind of had that feel, you know, we need a drummer tonight.
Looking good, Bill. Timmy, have you seen the movie Kodachrome?
I haven't. Is that like a contemporary movie, or is that?
Yeah,
that's an old. Is it?
Yeah, Ed Harris.
Oh,
Ed Harris
yeah,
plays a dying photographer, and he he had a
did Jason Sudeikis?
yeah, and
Yeah.
got disconnected from his son, or just
Uh-huh.
they had no relationship for 10 years. And Kodachrome, they were going to quit developing, which was in Parsons, Kansas, that they developed Kodachrome, was the last place that would develop it. And so they just had a short period of time. And one of his dying wishes, he was dying of cancer, was to go get these 4 rolls of film developed. And he wanted his son to go. It's a really good film.
Well, that sounds really cool.
You would get
I'm
a
gonna
kick.
check it out. I've been meaning to rewatch just movies that remind me of my dad. Been meaning to rewatch it, but then I kind of don't want to rewatch it because I don't know if it'll hold up. Big Fish. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
With Ewan McGregor?
Yes.
Yeah. Because no movie has ever reminded me of my dad more than that movie. I don't know if it holds up. So if it's not that good anymore, don't tell me in the audience. I don't want to know.
This isn't a very good movie, but it's a movie that
Yeah.
reminded me of your dad a lot. It was
Really?
Continental Divide.
Yeah.
With John Belushi.
Oh, I like that movie.
Yeah.
And that your dad
Oh.
reminded me so much of John Belushi
Yeah.
as a man.
Yeah. He had the Belushi build for sure. Yeah.
But
Oh
the,
man.
I the very first time I met your father, and I don't think I've told this story in here, was he pulled up to my father's house. Remember, I was 16 years old,
Mhm.
and my dad was going out to dinner with somebody, and so he made me go out and wash his car. And so I was washing his car out in the front yard in the driveway, and this person pulls up, which happened to be Tim, and I think he was driving your mother's car or a Cutlass, or I don't know if it was him or your mother's or whatever, but he walked up beside me. I was vacuuming this car out, and he walked up and he just stood there. And finally, he didn't say anything to me. And I looked around and I said, hello. And he said, can I borrow that? And I was vacuuming. It was like like the household vacuum, like upright vacuum. And so he takes the head of it off and he sticks it in his ashtray of his car, of the ashtray in the car, and just completely clogs up the whole ashtray or the whole hose to the vacuum where it wouldn't work anymore. And he starts shaking it and doing all this stuff. And finally, he just hands it back to me and shrugs his shoulders and says, sorry, and then walks inside. And that's the first time I met him. I was just a dumb kid out, well, about a month later, I see the movie Animal House. And the scene of the guy walking, playing the guitar on the stairs.
Yeah.
And Belushi walks by and just breaks this guitar, beats it against the wall and hands it to him and says, sorry. It was.
Yeah.
And I know your dad had not seen that movie because I saw it when it first came out. And
Yeah.
Oh, that was so perfect.
That's hilarious.
So great. Yeah.
I gave my love a cherry.
Yeah.
That's totally it.
Stephen Bishop.
Yeah. I just recently watched The Blues Brothers, and I never was a fan of that movie, but I watched it recently with my son Matthew, and I loved it. I thought it was so much better now than when I first watched it.
Yeah, some of those movies, we started Animal House. I couldn't get through it. I couldn't. It didn't age well. It does not age well.
No.
No, not at all.
No. I'm going to argue with you there. For the generation that lived through it, it's just fine.
Yeah, well, you might be missing my point. And we don't need to dig into it, Chris.
Well, I get your point.
Yeah, I know John gets my point. Yeah, no.
It's not very
but
correct.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's pretty off.
I know a guy whose frat house had a horse incident very similar to.
Yeah, we're not talking about the horse.
I know which part you're talking about. I got a brain.
No, Blues Brothers though. That I love that movie.
It's a great film.
I haven't seen it for a long time. I'm gonna probably check into that.
The music's amazing.
Also, maybe the biggest discrepancy in quality between a sequel and the first. The Blues Brothers sequel is maybe one of the worst movies I've ever watched.
I've never seen it.
And lucky you. It's pretty bad. But comedy sequels are tough.
Hey, Timmy, flip over to Chris for a second.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to flip over to Chris.
There we go. Here.
Oh, wow, Chris. That's amazing.
Thank you. I think they say the worst comedy sequel is Caddyshack.
That's pretty bad. Both National Lampoon movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Caddyshack 2 was just.
Or no, never mind. Blues Brothers was SNL. I don't know. But yeah, Caddyshack 2 is pretty bad.
Those are hard to.
Yeah, there's not too many of them that are great. The sequels.
because they try to like recreate all the stuff that's already been done. And
I can think of one sequel that I like. I really like the Ghost. I think Ghostbusters is pretty good.
yeah,
I think, and then the only one I would say I think is better is Ace Ventura. That's a pretty polarizing movie, though.
I haven't seen that movie, so.
A lot of people don't like the Ace Ventura movies, but I grew up on Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey. So, oh yeah, that.
But again,
Jenna just said that has not aged well at all, and now I'm thinking in my mind, yeah, I take that back. I won't stand by that movie at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Comedy's tough.
I tell you who's done well with sequels is Pixar.
Pixar does. Pixar does really well with sequels.
Yeah.
But that I would say that those movies really tie into emotion really well. They're not just they're not just simply comedies. You know.
Okay, now you got to flip back to Bill. Jimmy.
Yeah. I liked it more when you were drawing.
Who said that?
I don't know. I just heard it from the crowd. Just heard it from the crowd.
That didn't come from the crowd. I'll be drawing next week. I had a lot of fun last week drawing. Yeah, looks good, Bill.
Thanks. I'm just, I'm still trying to get used to the distortion, and I probably need to raise my whole thing up. Have any of you guys seen the movie? I think it's called Hustlers with
J-Lo?
Anne Hathaway and.
Yeah, I watched it
Oh.
a couple of weeks ago.
I forget the woman's name. English actress.
I watched part of it a couple of weeks ago.
It was just so good you wanted to save the rest of it for later.
Well, it's a remake of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
I bailed.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was a remake of
I have
Dirty
not seen it.
Scoundrels until I was like halfway through it. And I'm like, this plot seems really. I mean, it's fun. It's a very different movie because it doesn't have Steve Martin in it.
Is it Rebel Wilson?
Rebel Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen it. I know what you're talking about. I've gotten to the stage of quarantine where I don't go to Rotten Tomatoes because I turn down a lot of movies because I see a low rating and I'm like, I don't want to do it. It looks like you have bad reviews. And I've gotten to a point where I'm like, nope, I got to decide for myself.
Yeah.
So that movie was based on Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
Yeah.
Which was a good movie. I liked that.
Yeah, it was fun. I just liked Rebel Wilson was hilarious.
That's the Michael Caine, Steve Martin, right?
Yeah.
Mind if I go to the bathroom?
He has the cork.
Yeah.
The cork is put on all the dining utensils, right? Is that same?
Right.
Yeah.
That's where he's sitting at the table, and he says, can I go to the restroom now? And I say,
right. Yeah, and then he just sits there. Yeah. Yeah.
Someone asked which one I loved. I loved the original.
That was me, John.
Yeah.
Because Alana and Jenna seemed to potentially endorse the second one. I'm in the market for some binge-worthy television at this point.
See, I watch old TV stuff.
Yeah.
There's a great British comedy that you should watch.
You mean like Lost? or maybe like The Wire.
Wire's been around for 10 or 11 years, 12 years.
I think like 15 now.
Really?
Wow.
I don't know. I'll check. I haven't seen The Wire.
Either my daughter was telling me.
Bill Koeb.
Yeah.
You're probably might be old enough to remember. Do you remember the fall and rise of Reginald Perrin?
No.
It was a British comedy, from the. Oh God, it's just precious. Got to watch that one.
I'll look that up though. So
You guys seen?
It was around the same time of Yes Minister.
okay, I remember Yes Minister.
Yeah.
What was the one with Judi Dench?
Oh, that was. That's the one. Yeah, and what's his name?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was really,
yeah, but that same guy, Jeffrey Palmer.
yeah.
Yeah, he was in another show. He was in The Fall and Rise of Reggie Perrin. He plays the whacked out brother-in-law.
Okay.
And then he was also in another show called Butterflies. That was a good show.
Yeah.
Another one I like from that same era. Did you ever see The Good Neighbors?
I may have seen a couple of those.
For all I know, you could just be making these names up, Chris.
Okay, they're not real shows.
Yeah.
You see, you fall into that trap. History doesn't start until the year you were born.
Right.
I like some stuff that is before my time, Chris.
I was watching today. They had the Thin Man movies on while I was working.
Chris, you know what I'll say? My taste in music predates my birth date. I like a lot of older music.
Mine definitely does.
Yeah.
I feel like when I hear jazz from the late 50s,
Yeah.
I feel like I was born in the wrong era.
I don't know though. I gotta say though, I think that this is certainly the golden era of television. I mean, it's not even, that's not it. I didn't invent that phrase. It really is. It's like, I don't know.
We'll
It's
see.
pretty amazing. We go to television for good stories now.
Yeah.
We will see how many of those shows are still on. I mean, right now, like I say,
Oh man, like talking about Sopranos,
you
talking
can
about The Wire, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, there's some
still
great
watch. You
Oh.
can still watch the Andy Griffith Show, and that's what 60 years old almost.
Yeah.
It is. It is 60
Yeah.
years old. I mean, think about that.
Someday Breaking Bad will also be 60 years old.
Yeah, I know, but will it be on TV? That's what Chris is saying.
Well, it's not. The thing about Andy Griffith is you're not watching it sequentially, and the truth is I think the naive question about that is the idea that network television is going to be on in 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I think Breaking Bad's going to last longer than network flipping channels maybe, but you heard it here first.
By the way, The Fall and Rise of Reggie Perrin, that's a sequential show.
Is it?
Yep. But it's a comedy.
Yeah. Because now it's really interesting. I was reading a thing about how a lot of networks, circa Sopranos and Lost, they basically were like, now when you pitch a show, get us 7 seasons. You need to tell us what happens in season 1, season 7, and this is how we're going to roll it out. And this is how, it's how it works into the money-making machine that it becomes.
right.
And today, because, syndication isn't as much a factor, and because of, I think, shorter series have had a lot of success, there's less pressure on that. And I think that, what's it called? Not a couple British networks have like really demonstrated that 3 seasons is the magic number. And so,
yeah.
so a couple series I've watched recently only have 3 seasons. The Leftovers. John, didn't you watch The Leftovers?
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, Foster did the second year. He did the.
Oh yeah. I
trailer.
loved The Leftovers. Me and Chris were watching it. He hadn't seen it.
Nice.
When when Chris was staying with us, we were watching that. And every night when Chris would start it, he would do a John Foster, because, it was like the really operatic.
Yeah.
He had this John Foster theme song that we would send to John. Yeah. True Detective, that's good. Second season
I just saw
was,
a post the other day on Facebook of all the series that were going to get canceled or return. And I was happy to see Ozarks they're doing another series. It got re-upped.
We just recently started Ozark season 2. We gave up on it.
Great.
I didn't like the second season, but I heard the third season's great.
The third season was good.
I like the second season too.
Uh,
Billions got re-upped. I thought that was excellent.
I watched the Umbrella Academy, the second season of that. That was fun.
I loved Umbrella Academy. I haven't finished. I'm on the last episode of the second season.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, but then you think of, a lot of the series now. Every one of those is like a movie. Every episode, like they're, like going through the theme. It's just amazing.
It's amazing. It's
The production
unbelievable.
values
Yeah, I highly recommend watching the director's cuts of or director commentary or behind the scenes for Game of Thrones. It's amazing.
Oh yeah,
The production.
every one of those was a movie. I mean,
Yeah. The only thing I'll say though is those Game of Thrones sets, they're showing up and everything is established before they get there. Like they're like, this is where the camera goes, this is where you stand. There are no happy accidents occurring in Game of Thrones.
well,
which I mean,
pretty cool.
yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, when you think about how, I'm trying to remember, because they're doing one of the offshoots for Game of Thrones. HBO is making I don't know. I'm sure someone in the audience knows what show got picked up. But I was reading about the budget for the pilot season of this offshoot of Game of Thrones. And it is like, I want to say like one episode of Game of Thrones was like a $30 million budget.
It's crazy.
And for this pilot episode of this new series, it's like over $150 million.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh.
It was like, it's unimaginable, like unfathomable.
All right, Timmy,
Yeah.
that was the
Is that it?
timer just went off. I want to see.
Yeah, let's check out Chris's work.
Very cool.
Oh
Chris,
wow.
do you mind holding it up to your camera?
Yeah, just angle it a little bit.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
there you go.
Oops.
Here we go.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice. Very nice.
Whoa. Very
Okay,
cool.
Chris, you're up again.
Bill, sorry, I saw you hold it up, but nobody was.
Oh
looking
no,
at it.
that's cool. I was looking at Chris's.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Love it.
That's beautiful, Bill.
Is that paint, Bill?
No, it's just Conti and a little bit of new pastel.
The red is pastel also. Okay.
Yeah,
Very nice.
thanks.
Okay.
I'm enjoying drawing this size. It's kind of fun.
Like the intensity of that red.
How
Looks
big
nice.
is how big's that pad?
18 by 24, I think.
And what is it?
It's just a drawing paper. It's like a white. I don't know. I don't have the.
Look at leave it right there. Look at the mark making on that. It's really nice.
Thanks.
Hard edge against, and it's really, really nice.
Thank you.
Nice texture.
What do you guys want for the next photo?
This is the Florida guy.
Florida man. Sounds good. Here, I'm going to change the order just to make sure.
I bought a new mount for my my phone. I almost bought a camera today because they had one, but I was like, I don't know if I want to buy a webcam right now. So I got rid of my whole jerry-rigged.
So you're official now.
I'm a little bit more official. It's a little easier.
Timmy, I used that, the light setup for the first time. That thing's awesome.
Isn't that great?
I didn't think it had a chance. And
Really?
that's the only light I had.
I gave it to you.
I know.
I'm the light guy.
But I didn't, but I was just thinking about, I went into this,
Yeah.
this hotel and I had this
Yeah.
like little lamp on over in the side. And I thought, how am I going to get enough light? And that thing
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
Yeah. It's good. Cool. I'm getting bit up by mosquitoes.
And then
Oh.
just think about like comparing, like carrying big lights around. That thing's,
Yeah.
it's like this big.
Is it the Halo thing with the camera in the middle?
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yep.
saw those today. That looked really cool.
We're trying to keep it a secret, Steve. It's somebody just said, "What's the light?"
We're not telling you, Steve.
If you go on Amazon, if you're teaching online, it is all these schools that didn't want to go online and have spent all this money not to go online. The whole time I was thinking they should be putting that whole budget into ring lights.
Yeah.
Ring lights and USB microphones. If you get it depends. I say go big or go home. You can get like an 18-inch diameter, like really big one. John, I think yours is 12 inches.
Yeah.
12 inches. 12 inches works great, but the bigger you go, the
It's
better.
inside my backpack.
And then you can mount your webcam right to the middle, and it's great for stuff like this. A lot of people try to use, not to give away too many secrets, but a lot of people try to use these software to brighten their exposure on their webcam. And really, there's just the best way for you to keep the quality of it is just you get more light.
More light.
More light. Always get more light. So.
Yeah, I saw one of those today. I forget how much it was. It was at Best Buy. But
You're really best off getting it online.
online, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive if you go to Best Buy, I would guess.
Yeah.
But LED panels work, but the thing that is tough about the LED panels, and John, you can, because I had one for you, you just can't position the webcam well with them.
No.
The ring light's perfect because it goes right in the middle of that, and it's just right where you want it. But yeah, we've used LED panels before.
And then you only need one tripod.
Yep, one tripod.
That makes
You get better than that. You're not working around two tripods.
That makes a huge difference when you're trying to do a demo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris, you gonna do a finger drawing this time? Just draw.
I just want to start.
Finger painting. Finger painting.
Okay.
We're gonna let the audience imagine.
Finger drawing.
I just want to see about what size do I want his head about on the page.
Will that result in a looser drawing or?
Tell me when's the bell start?
Oh, we're ready. Whenever, as soon as you go.
Okay, let's roll.
Okay.
I'm just curious from the audience. Please chime in if you care. If you're in the audience, if we got illustration isolation T-shirts, would you? And let's say we sold them for
$300 a piece.
no, no. Let's say we sold them at break-even price. We're not going to make any profit, and any profit we do make will go
To ring lights.
go into ring lights. It will be reinvested in illustration isolation. Okay. So like 20 bucks max. Would you pay 20 bucks for an illustration? And we'll get we'll get nice quality. It won't be like crummy. Okay, cool.
I'd be into those.
All right. Start sending us T-shirt ideas.
Could have a T-shirt contest.
No, I'm gonna, if we do it, I'm gonna ask for sizes. So
You're starting to scare me a little bit, Timmy. I was thinking about, hey, if we were going to build a wall and you all sent us money.
no. Oh my God. No, we're not there yet. No. Chris Payne's drawing. We're not going to feature any panel artists because we couldn't decide who, unless it's Felicity's. And then we got to get permission from Felicity. We'd have to go through her reps.
The auxiliary rights or whatever. Ancillary rights.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be cool. Yeah, we need 3 sizes, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'll take requests. I'll put it together and then we'll do it. I think it'd be fun. But seriously, send some t-shirt ideas my way. Because I think it'd be fun. A couple people have said, what about Felicity's artwork? I think that's a great idea. But we have to go through her agency.
Yeah.
We'd have to deal with her representation and licensing.
But that's her mom asking, so
Yeah.
we might be.
I didn't know. I didn't see that. Okay. That would be cool. We'll come up with a few ideas.
So Chris, when you're doing this, and it's like, I always think this way, and I think that like when you're making, you set out to make a picture, you're starting, you're getting the gesture. At what point do you decide is this figure going to be dark against light or light against dark?
This one here, I think, this one here, I'm probably going to make the figure light behind him, simply because I really want to get the shape. I like his shape. I'm going to have to, it's hard.
So you're going to reverse what's in your reference.
Right. I mean, I've got to figure out his hair, you know, which is going to be fun because I can play with it a little bit. I don't have to be feeling like I have to be dead nuts accurate. So I can play with that a little bit. Gives me a little fudge room.
And that's something I bring up because, I know there's people, there's pros in here drawing with us and they certainly understand that. But one of the mistakes that I see people as they're learning is they don't consider their value structure of their picture, even just in a drawing. And picture making is a light thing against a dark thing or a dark thing against a light thing.
Value structure, man, I'll tell you, students 9 times out of 10, if they have a problem in a piece of artwork, it's value structure. And yet, when you really think about it, there's really good books on drawing. There are really good books on color theory. There's really good books. But about the only books that I've ever seen that I really like that do show really good examples of value structure are some of those old, illustration books that were the old correspondence books. Those books have some wonderful lessons about value structure.
The famous artist course?
The famous artist courses. Yeah. Those things, and they're just, it's such a shame that whole thing had kind of died and went by the wayside because of the whole issue with the writings part of it that got him in trouble. But no, I have a few of those books and I think they're great. I take some of those lesson plans and copy them and hand them out to students all the time.
I don't know if I have it still. I had an old Andrew Loomis book.
Oh, those Loomis books are great too.
Oh my God, they were just.
Man, I was just trying to, I couldn't think of his name, Bill, when you said I was trying to think of Andrew Loomis's name. But George put an unbelievable document together based on Andrew Loomis doing a bunch of value studies of Howard Pyle's work.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's become like one of the practices. I think one of the push-ups and sit-ups that we offer, that I even in our foundations class, I offer it to the students. I want them to understand, instead of spending the time doing a master copy, which has its place for sure, but just practice doing 3 value studies of really well verified artwork. And it will teach you a tremendous amount about value structure. And,
Yep.
and this document of George's starts with examples of Andrew Loomis doing all these Howard Piles, just in 3 value. And
Cool.
and I think it's the best, drawing the figure, drawing from life, drawing the figure, practice drawing from memory, and then doing those value studies are like the best push-ups and sit-ups you can do as an artist.
And you really try to get people to understand what you mean by the sit-ups and push-ups. It's just, I mean,
it's the thing that's going to make you better, like what we're doing right now, or I'm not doing right now. I say that.
What we're doing right now.
What you're doing, what we're making these 2 guys do in front of us right now. I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry.
But
no.
we would say at CCAD, where I taught, that there are no Olympic gold medals in push-ups and sit-ups, but everybody who wins a gold medal, does their push-ups and sit-ups.
Right.
It's part of it. It's just part of it.
That being said, Chris, I would love to see a push-up and pull-up event at the Olympics. Yeah.
I'm not, Timmy, I'm not really sure I want to. It might make me feel really
Well, I mean, yeah.
like
John, you got to come to terms with that.
it's like the only exercises I do is like push-ups and sit-ups.
Yeah. Well, this, like it's like sketchbooks. There's been a trend to try to do like really finished work in your sketchbooks, and I think that has value. And I think also the whole Instagram culture of doing something and then posting it. I think people are doing things with the idea of posting them in mind, but there's a lot of value, I think, in just approaching those things as learning tools rather than as something that you're going to show to somebody, but just this is where you do your exercises, where you practice. This is where you make your mistakes. And, you should have the freedom that nobody's going to see that stuff, or that there's no pressure to show it.
Hey, Glenda, I don't know which book of Andrew Loomis's that has the value studies. I just have it from the documents that I have from George. I don't know which book he's referring to, what he
It
pulled.
might be creative illustration,
Could be.
because he's got one on drawing heads, and then the figure, and then one called creative illustration.
One of my, and Chris will verify this. I think the great talents of the last 50 years as an illustrator, his whole education was the famous artist course. And he was the most successful of their students, was Robert Heindel.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, I used to have a few, black and white photos of the artwork he did for the assignments. And when the Rockwell Museum was having a show of the stuff, I sent them that material. So it's now part of their collection.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that's wild, Bill. I like it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Decided to try something different, getting the shape down first, and then
Nailing the silhouette. Really beautiful.
I like that he's got the dark hair, because then you can leave the background light, and
Right.
you can have a light against the dark against the light.
Yep.
So what was Ray's excuse for not being here tonight?
Teaching. He said he's trying to get his classes set for next week. Everyone's trying to get, well, I'm not going to go there. Gotta go there.
No comment.
There's going to be a lot of online teaching going on here real soon.
Hey, good news for the illustration isolation diehards.
Right.
Our panel might be real busy.
He's got a great mustache.
That's awesome, Chris.
Oh, let me see what Chris is doing. Oh, that's cool.
Beautiful. I have all of the, I'm not giving them to anybody, but I have all of the famous artist courses, and I have them digitized.
Oh, cool.
Because one of my ex-students thought it'd be a really great idea to do it, to collect them all and post them online, until he got shut down by the school itself very, very quickly. But they were out there all digitized for about 3 days before people caught on.
So they're still there as an entity to stop that?
Yeah, oh yeah. They're actually still have a school functioning in Japan.
Wow.
My dad was one of those famous artists, and it was amazing. Since he started, I mean, he started with them probably in his mid-30s, and they took care of his insurance for his whole life.
Oh, wow.
Well, I know that there was the writing part of it, and that ended up having a big lawsuit.
Yeah.
That was that. I can't remember the name of the woman who brought the lawsuit. It was a big deal.
Yeah, I've spoken to the people who own it, Matthew. They are setting up an online resource for
Heard it's terrible.
it. Yeah. Well, it's just an online resource for that
Don't
information.
go there. Matthew, thanks for putting that in quotes so it didn't hyperlink.
But Matthew, just to be clear,
I'm just kidding.
no, Timmy, I'll make you feel better by saying this. Just to be clear, they talked to me about that 12 years ago. So it's not done yet. It's not there yet. So it may or may not happen.
Just joking now. I mean, I hope,
No, information. You know,
I would like more information for everybody.
That's right. That's what our program has been based on.
Yeah.
Great information.
Yeah.
And, you know, the other thing is, what I think, again, I'm going to boast about our program here a little bit, but one of the things I think we do better than anybody, having great information, is we help people get to an outcome of where to start and how all of this works together. There's tons of great information online, but nobody's holding your hand through it, showing you how to apply it and put it together, being and helping you prepare for a career.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that. I mean, it's pretty cool. Timmy, you can shut me up whenever you want, but going to the Society of Illustrators show this year and watching 3 of my past students win gold medals, not such a bad thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, not such a bad thing.
Not such a bad thing. It doesn't suck.
Jenna said, not even some of the $30,000 a year schools. You said it, Jenna. We didn't. We didn't. But agreed.
Yeah, I mean, preparing yourself for industry and to work as a professional artist, being able to talk to Bill Koeb, being able to talk to Chris Payne or whoever it is in our program, that, that's what they do. I mean, that's a big part of it. That's a big part of, what Chris brings to his MFA program. And there's a reality to it. And, people that live their lives as artists. And I think seeing people's paths of how they pursue a career, it allows students or even young professionals to say, hey, that makes sense to me, or that doesn't make sense to me. It gives them an opportunity to sidle on to that path and emulate it.
Well, the one thing, and I'm sure you agree, John, that's great about just the whole profession of when you do get into teaching is when you see people actually have success after you've worked with them. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had some success as illustrators in our lives, and I'm grateful for that. But I'll tell you, the most fun I get is when I see one of my students doing something and I know that he or she is providing for their family because of it.
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
John, one of the things, the fact that you get access to people, the fact that we can get all of these people on a panel on any given night who are all across the country, that's a lot harder in a traditional brick and mortar setting. And the other day, it really clicked with me when I was talking with you, John, about, and I understand people have like Zoom fatigue, and, I get tired of being in a Zoom meeting as much as anyone. But a few people have been like, I don't know, you can't, it's just online isn't the same as in person. It's just too much time on a computer. And I just can't help but think like, the average American spends 5 hours on Instagram a day. I'm like, no, it's hard to want to keep learning, learning and curiosity are, it requires energy,
Well, I mean, it's the best. John Foster said this to me when we first started teaching with online. He's like, this works better because the resources we have and the time we have in between, we can stay connected to students. We can, and I can use Google. I can resource out the artists very quickly. Yeah. You just have to, you play to its strengths and stay away from its weaknesses.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion right now that if you're having a bad experience in an online classroom, it's really on the responsibility of the delivery system, the person delivering it. It's like, if it's bad, don't get a bad taste in your mouth. Well, I mean, everybody here, you keep coming back, so I'm assuming you're having a positive experience. But I think that when I talk with people that are like, it's just been a bad experience, it's like, well, you haven't taken the right classes then.
Matthew, that's a pretty funny thing you just said. Too much good stuff is so accessible now. That's my biggest issue. And I remember, trying to explain to my father how Instagram worked and showing him people's, going to different sites and showing people's individual pages. And his response after he was looking for a while, he goes, where did all these good artists come from?
Yeah, John, I got to interrupt you. Jennifer or Alana, I think it's Jennifer. Please paste what you wrote to the panelists and share it with everybody, because they're gonna think I'm making it up if I read it out. They're gonna be like, "Oh, this is a planted ad." Yeah. Too much good stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of really good entertainment too. It's like,
oh my gosh,
it's hard to go home after your day job and because I've heard so many people say that, the real sweat that, the sweat equity was put in, from 5 to midnight, and I think like now it's complacency and access to kind of the comfort zone of Netflix is really tempting.
Bill, that's a really nice drawing.
Thank you.
Okay, so
now you got to switch back to Chris, because we just got.
Yeah, I will. But Alana said the only thing that gave me learning fatigue from the Visual Arts Passage program was actually suddenly getting real client work in illustration and then juggling classwork with paid work. So
that's not a bad problem to have.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's helping you.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Elena,
that's awesome.
Elena, did you get your review from us last night? Have you listened to it yet? Yeah, you had some. It was fun because we had Haley Herrick, who Haley has worked for DreamWorks and Blizzard, and now working for Nickelodeon. Does some character design, but mostly boarding, storyboarding. And then Lake was in there, and we talked about it for a long time. So you should get a good response out of it. And they were very positive, by the way. Everyone loved it. And what I'm talking to Elaine about is that we have a middle of the week, all of our classes, we have a study hall. And it's literally my favorite part of the program. It's just, we see work from different classes. And last night, John Foster, myself, Brent Watkinson, I'm trying to think who else. Lake and Haley were in there, and it's like illustration triage, or just trying to help people with their assignments, the work they're working on. That's killer, Chris. The bell just went off. Hold it up. I want to see it closer.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's so good. Very cool.
Thank you. It was a great pose, a great picture. There's so much personality in it.
Yeah, Timmy, that was your favorite portrait of your dad?
One of my favorite portraits he's ever taken, because you can just really, I don't know, I really love it. There's something really sweet about it.
Yeah.
And I love the color in it. That was one of the questions. I've never really thought about this. Knowing my dad, I'd say it's highly unlikely. But I was wondering, I was like, how do you get these photos and not have a light meter on him? That to me is really amazing. Yeah. I go through all of his slides, and they're all like pretty on. Like they're pretty spot on. Like the exposure is like perfect. And I'm just like, I know really great photographers, like commercially really amazing photographers that would be like, you can't get good photos with, like back in the day, like that was just not, that just wasn't possible. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it was. It just really requires a skill.
Was he shooting Kodachrome?
Or
do you know?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more pose.
What should we
and it's Bill's choice.
All right, Bill.
Oh, just throw it. That's fine. Just pick something.
Yeah?
Yeah, just pick something and I'll.
Okay, this is Timmy's pick, and you can blame it on him.
Yeah, if it sucks, it's his fault.
Okay, I'm gonna pick. Can you guys...
I take no responsibility.
Can I? If you give me 1 second, I'm gonna
No problem.
talk amongst yourselves.
Now, Elena, I don't know if you've been in there when Lake's been in there, but I think that Lake teaches our third level concept design class, and John Foster, who's done some concept work and some entertainment work, and Brent and I, we sit and listen to him explain the differences in the point of view of how he's coming at it from a concept designer versus an illustrator. And it's fascinating. I mean, it's really amazing the approach that he has. And I know that John and I talked afterwards. We're just like, I feel a little guilty. We're like going to school on this guy. And he's just a really bright guy. He's a good artist too.
Okay, we're almost there.
All right.
Timmy's going to make you share that response to the rest of the people. You didn't realize you only shared it to the panelists. Chris, so what did you shot Polaroids for a long period of time, or did you shoot 35 millimeter?
I shot a lot of Polaroid, I mean, the old, I still actually have, hang on here, let me go get it.
Yeah, I'm sitting in a hotel room. I stood up a few minutes ago to go get something to show everybody and realized I wasn't in my studio.
Oh.
That's funny. Okay, so the next photo is up,
All right,
and
refresh.
There's the camera.
Yeah, I got one of those.
Yeah.
Then I kind of have one.
Oh, that's a great one.
It has f-stops, the whole thing right there.
Yep.
so that's cool. All right, Bill. So the next photo is up, and I actually know a little bit about this photo.
Yeah,
So if you hit refresh, let me know.
it's the man with the chain and the.
Yeah, let's see here. I made it so it goes to the top for those of you who are like, I can't find it. Hit refresh one more time. So this man is, I'm just going to read my dad's Instagram post of when he posted it 173 weeks ago. All right. Bert Kilbride, the last pirate of the Caribbean. Bert knew the location of virtually every shipwreck in the British Virgin Islands. The British government actually gave up trying to catch him recovering treasure and offered to go into partnership with him. He was named the receiver of the wrecks by Queen Elizabeth. He guided me to many underwater wrecks and attempted to teach me how to drink champagne at 100 feet. Pretty cool.
That is cool.
So he's a modern day pirate.
An actual pirate. That is amazing.
Looks good.
He's got gorgeous hair.
You talking about me, Bill?
Yeah, you. Yeah, you've got gorgeous hair.
Timmy, don't do that again, ever. I'm kidding.
It's funny, like I was noticing how gray my hair has gone, and it's just in the temple. So if I had a full head of hair, I'd have like those really nice graying temples. All right. Well, yeah, he's got a great face. I don't know what to draw.
So, Timmy, how old is this photo?
This photo would be 1980. I mean, this is from that
82?
era.
Wow.
Well,
38 years ago.
I would say at its, it could be 1985 because this is in the Caribbean, so it's not in Brazil. So
Okay.
But around the same era, 80s, early 80s. Yeah. Eric Lee message. You guys are doing great.
Thank you.
Drawing or just talking with each other?
We're just babbling here.
Holding a conversation.
We're just babbling here.
Yeah. Chris, so the one thing I'll say about television, this is my last stake the flag that I'll put down on modern television is when I was a kid, I kind of always expected what was going to happen in a show. You know, when the protagonist had the gun or when the protagonist was backed into a corner.
Right.
I always kind of knew the protagonist was going to get out of it. But I would say circa Breaking Bad and especially Game of Thrones, first season of Game of Thrones, I quickly realized anything can happen on television and they don't care. And
I think one of the things is early on.
when did you see that? When did you notice that change?
Well, first of all, it depended on who the audience was. I mean,
Yeah.
I can remember in my younger adulthood, thinking, there were these TV shows that I thought were so stupid and dumb. I remember commenting about how stupid I thought they were, and somebody said, well, they're not written for you. They're written for a kid who's 9 years old. So, I mean, it depends on what you're watching and who the audience is for.
Right.
I mean, back in the days with some of those older television shows, oftentimes the audience was a younger audience, and you didn't want to have, the good guy turn out to be a bad guy and be somebody.
Oh, well, I get it. I get it with like kids programming. I just meant I think that the real turn from what I've read, this isn't my personal, this isn't something I came across on my own. Is that like The Sopranos was like the really big turning point in the enormously flawed protagonist.
If you go back to some of the old Hallmark theater stuff that Rod Serling was writing, I mean, it was pretty sophisticated stuff.
Yeah.
But at the
I
time,
love Twilight Zone.
well, this Twilight Zone is when he had to tame it down, because he was taking on the Holocaust, racism, all kinds of things. But at the time, it was pretty sophisticated stuff. And the sponsors are like going, we can't have a show dealing with the Holocaust while we're trying to sell a hot point oven.
Right.
And so it became a real sticky problem. And so he was being really kind of overly pushed. And so he finally ended up deciding, he came up with the idea of the Twilight Zone, because you could take on this issues of racism and sexism and the Holocaust and subject matter that was that sophisticated, but now instead of it being people on Earth, it was dealing with strange people that don't look like you from another planet.
The monsters on Maple Street.
Things of that, well, whatever, but so he was taking on a lot of those sophisticated topics.
Yeah.
At a time when, at the time when, a lot of the sponsors weren't ready for it.
I've read a lot of his stuff. I love Rod Serling.
He got his start in television writing here in Cincinnati.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, WLW TV and WLW Radio. There's a lot of stuff that started in entertainment back in those days because of WLW Radio. It was called the Nation Station.
See you later.
500,000 megahertz on the radio station back then.
So people, you could pick it up in
California. You could pick it up
all the way to the West Coast. Wow.
You could pick it up in South America.
That's crazy.
Wow.
The farmers that lived near where the radio tower was could listen to it on the wire of the fences.
Oh, geez.
They could pick it up in the fillings of their teeth.
Chris, you'll appreciate this. When I was a senior in high school, at my high school, one student was invited to, you had to put together a proposal to direct a play.
Right?
And I wanted to direct a series of television episodes
Right?
from the Twilight Zone. They let me do it. So I got to do that when I was a senior. So I did the Twilight Zone as a stage production.
I'll tell you, the guy that's fascinating to read about is Orson Welles.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that guy, what a crazy life that guy had. I mean, and he was absolutely a genius. I mean, he was 22 years old, and he's directing Hamlet in Harlem. I mean, yeah, read some stuff on Wells. It'll blow your mind.
He also was the go-to person, correct me if I'm wrong, to be no, I should act and I should direct it, right? and then everybody followed. Like I'm trying to think of all the other actors that have followed in that.
Well, Chaplin and a lot of those guys, and
Yeah.
they did their own. But yeah, he took on, because
Chaplin directed too. He would direct his own stuff.
of course,
Yeah.
yeah. Even wrote some of the music to some of his stuff. The song "Smile" was written by Charlie Chaplin. So yeah.
Hey, Timmy, I hate to ask you this, but bounce
I'm
around.
fine with it. I'm okay with it.
just tell me no sometime. No, I can't do that.
I would rather not. Yeah. Yep.
So what year did Wells do War of the Worlds? How old was-
Probably about 1936,
So he was pretty young then.
maybe 37. Oh, he was like 21 years old,
Oh my gosh.
and I don't think he was more than 25 years old when he did Citizen Kane.
He was very young.
And I mean, everybody, of course, loves Citizen Kane. It is great, but I think, he had other movies I actually like better. I mean, Touch of Evil is just incredible. I love Magnificent Ambersons, Lady from Shanghai. He didn't direct it, but I love The Third Man. Have you ever seen that movie, Timmy?
Third Man?
Yeah,
No, I haven't.
give it a shot. As a photographer, you would love it because it is so
I like watching breakdowns of those movies and commentaries on them. I've watched a lot on Citizen Kane because I did not enjoy the film Citizen Kane.
No, I'm not.
But I really enjoyed understanding why certain scenes were so groundbreaking, because in a lot of ways it was this leap from like a two-dimensional set to really adding immense depth.
Well, that was Greg Toland.
What's that?
That was also Greg Toland, the cinematographer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Robert Wise was part of that too.
It's really wild because I watched that, and then I just recently saw what was the World War I film, 1917, and that's Deakins, the greatest cinematographer of the current era, really, and it's just wild to just see. Just when you look at it, you just think they're only separated by 100 years. It's unfathomable.
That was an interesting movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet. I still want to.
Well, I'm not going to give anything away then, because there's some
Bill,
part of it that I kind of.
Bill, story aside, Bill, I thought I was going to be worn out by the one take concept. I thought that was going to. I just kind of was like, it's a gimmick. Who cares? Why has it got to be in one take? I know they're doing digital cuts. Why should I care if they're going to make a digital cut? And then on top of it, if to do a digital cut means they have to do something that's kind of awkward with the camera, then it distracts from the scene. I really thought I was going to be rolling my eyes, but technically, I really overestimated how many cuts there were going to be in the movie, because I saw the set. They had over like 400 yards of trenches dug, and like it's the behind the scenes for that is better than the movie.
That's cool.
It really is. Yeah, and there's
One
no
of my
spoilers in the behind the scenes.
Oh, well, one of my favorite movies that was done with that idea is Rope.
Rope?
Rope, the Hitchcock film.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, Chris, you've seen Rope.
That's why I'm laughing when he says, "Oh, they dug 500 trenches." You ought to see some King Vidor movies and from like the silent era. There's a scene where they've got these trucks driving off in the distance, World War I, and I swear they must have at least 400 trucks driving off into the distance with soldiers marching. Off they go.
They have thousands. They have thousands of extras.
Yeah, well, that same thing here.
Yeah, it gets really, to me, it gets really interesting though, because we're in an era where you don't need 1,000 trucks, so why? And then that's where it becomes really interesting. It's because you couldn't, for whatever reason, Roger Deakins had a very compelling pre-production meeting where he said, we are not going to digitize this trench, or, we're not going to be using blue screen for this.
Well, that's cool.
I think that's really interesting.
Right.
Especially because they have scenes where the lighting is, I'm going to find the video of it that is the breakdown of it. The lighting in that film is really well done. It's done as if it was being done for a staged play.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, then if he likes that, then hey, not only is that one, what was the movie you mentioned, Bill?
Rope.
Rope, yeah, because that's like a play.
You got to see Rope. Rope's like,
and just realize they're burning film. It's not digital, so they're burning film.
Hey, man, they're mostly burning film today still. Did you know that? They usually don't shoot digital still. They're most of the time. It's pretty unusual they shoot digital. They digitize the film.
yeah.
It's going that way. I mean, for the most part, it's going that. But not
Jimmy,
really until
is
the
that
past couple of
70
years.
millimeter?
What's that?
Are they shooting 70 millimeter? What are they shooting?
Oh, I don't know what millimeter they're using, but I just know that that I still see trade articles. There is still a press release that will come out to be like Men in Black 5 is going to be shot digitally. It's still news when it occurs, definitely less so, but 1917, I would be, they might have shot that on the Arri Alexa, which I'm going to see if,
So did Deakins direct that?
he was the cinematographer.
Who directed that?
It was produced by Sam Mendes. Pulling it up.
Matthew Shields says Sam Mendes.
Sam Mendes.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, how about the opening sequence from Touch of Evil? Talk about a continual shot.
Yeah.
That is something to watch.
I mean, there were a few people that just really thought about more than just story. They thought about, it was film, it was specifically what could they do with film,
Hitchcock was one of them.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things is watching a breakdown of a scene in Vertigo.
Yeah.
Where, Stewart's talking to the guy that he's first taking on the case.
Right.
And there's a wonderful breakdown of the blocking of that scene, and where the characters go, where the camera is.
I'm gonna take back what I said. A lot of movies are being digitized now. 3 years ago, that wasn't as true, and then 5 years ago, very few movies would be shot on digitally. But a lot of movies that from what a lot of the major movies the last year were shot on 35 millimeter.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to jump back over to Bill.
All right.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
Who's got the crickets?
I do. I got to go inside. I'm getting bit up.
That's the other thing too. We should also, I always tell people we need to have like our list of movies.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever
One of
seen
my-
Great
you-
Expectations?
Go ahead. What?
I was just say Great Expectations by David Lean.
Yeah.
Oh God, the man, that thing is so beautifully shot. I screen capture that and draw from that all the time.
What about the original Flight of the Phoenix?
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Um,
But I also like, John Ford, How Green Was My Valley. It is just so beautiful to watch. I saw this guy's beard and I had to do it. I just had to go big with the beard. I actually used to do that when I taught up at CCAD early on. I would always have one day a semester where I'd have movie day
yeah.
and I'd show a couple of movies.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, just
Just talk about the cinematography.
yeah.
Yep. And just the storytelling within the picture itself too, just the whole area in storytelling.
I think for illustrators especially, one of the best things you can do is just put a movie on, turn the sound off, anything with the sound off, and just watch it.
Well, some of my favorite movies are silent.
More silent, yeah. No, exactly. But like,
I mean,
even TV commercials, just looking at what is actually being done, deconstructing it without
Chris,
distraction.
who was it? Was it you that made us play the Seven Samurai?
no.
Who was
That
it?
was George.
Probably George.
I don't know if it was George or if it was Baron.
May have been
I
Aaron.
don't remember. I don't remember. It was George. I was there for it.
Okay.
Barron talked a lot about films.
I'm not sure. I remember one time, I think, when we were down in Sterling, I had them watch Tom Jones,
Yeah.
and I love that movie.
Have you ever seen The King of Hearts?
Oh gosh, yeah, that was an old cult classic when I was in high school and college,
That's such a great movie.
because they would show that all the time with "Thank You, Masked Man" and Bambi Meets Godzilla. Did you ever see that one, Bambi Meets Godzilla?
It's pretty
No.
fun.
Yeah, I think, and then it's just a very short clip. It's this little deer eating grass for like about 3 minutes, and all of a sudden this giant foot comes down and crushes it, and that's the end of the movie.
I
And then
can't.
the other one was Thank You, Masked Man, and that was a Lenny Bruce animated film.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Well, that was back when the King of Hearts was very popular. They at least in Cincinnati, they just ran those three films together all the time. It was sort of almost like a precursor to the Rocky Horror Show. I mean, you'd have the old hippie movie theaters where people would go in there and party up before the movie started, and people would sit there and watch those. And it was down at the Esquire Theater. It must have been down there for 5 years.
That's cool. Yeah, years ago when I was helping on the rainforest mural at Barron's house,
Yeah.
we would watch movies, and we watched The Ninth Configuration, which was directed by William Peter Blatty,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got Stacy Keach,
Right.
Moses Gunn,
Hmm.
a ton of old actors. It's got, it alludes to Hamlet. You got Moses Gunn running around in a Superman costume part of the time. Um, and
Good, Bill.
it's a good movie. But it's got so many literary references to it.
Lee Harlow just said, I just saw King of Hearts this week. It was amazing. Hello, Lee Harlow.
Yeah, Lee Harlow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. We have 5 seconds left in this post.
Well, that's good because it's done, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, when we watched that movie, we all fell in love with Geneviève Bujold.
Yeah. I think that's every movie with Geneviève Bujold. Or what's the one, the Cronenberg film where she's in?
Oh, it's Jeremy Irons. What's it? Twin.
Isn't it Coma?
Well, there's Coma she's in, but I thought she was also in that movie where Jeremy Irons plays the twin gynecologists.
Oh, that's a creepy one.
Tell me about it.
This episode is going to be called, what was that movie? Who was that actor? What was It's just been the four of us being like, do you remember that show?
What happens when you have a small group?
I don't know. I think we've all gotten pretty good homework on television and movies to check out.
Like I said, look up The Third Man, Tim. That's your assignment.
I'll check it out. Chris,
Bill, am I right? Is that movie not amazing?
That's an amazing movie.
It is. It is absolutely amazing.
There was one movie he was talking about. I saw an interview recently. I think it was Wells in the 70s.
Right?
He was talking about one of his movies that he says you've never seen the actual real version of that because the studio got a hold of it.
Is that movie he was trying to film down in South America?
I'm not sure. He was saying that like the studio got a hold of it and edited it and changed it so that people have never seen his vision of it.
Oh, his vision of it, that would probably be the Magnificent Ambersons.
Possibly, yeah.
Because they took that away from him and had Robert Wise edit it, and then that was it.
Yeah.
editing.
I think that for me at least, I watched a lot of movies on Saturdays and Sundays when I was very young that were probably way over my head at the time, but they were they really had an impression, like Dog Day Afternoon and Serpico and.
Okay, so you see, you're a lot younger than me.
Yeah, but I'm 55, so. But I got to see all of these things. They came on TV, and then when cable came out, my dad and I would watch a lot of stuff together. Oh my God, that's amazing! That looks a little bit like the actor from Highlander, Clancy Brown.
No,
That's really awesome, Chris.
thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Timmy, we can, yeah, I mean, we're ready to bounce around go to Instagram or to Facebook.
Cool.
That's beautiful, Chris.
Thank you. Well, I saw that beard and that nose. Come on, you have to do it.
Oh.
See, it looks like Finley Curry to me.
That's awesome.
All right, let's see some art.
Yeah, now I want to next week I want to do some more. I really want to stretch some things and cartoon some things more. Seeing that beard and that nose.
That's John and I, when we've done figure drawing, I'll do that to the model too. You've seen me do that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at that one up at the top left, looks like Liam Neeson.
That's awesome.
That's Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
That's nice.
All right.
That's good too, yeah.
Oh, and we said this last week. Just if you're tuning in for your first time, or if you've joined us before, you know, we comment on some of the artwork. We comment on it. It's just we can't comment on every single piece. There's just not enough time. There's just too much artwork. So don't have any hurt feelings about it. If you attend a lot, I promise you, eventually someone's going to say something about your work. But don't, you know, if something isn't said, don't feel discouraged or anything like that. I just wanted to say that because I know sometimes we're quiet when we're looking. And
Well, I mean, you know, I don't. Wow.
Oh,
I mean, I don't.
way to go, Chuck.
I don't do. Is that Chuck Pyle?
Chuck Todd.
Chuck Todd.
Todd. Okay, cool. Hello, Chuck. I like the expressive background there.
That's nice.
His picture was flopped. There we go. Now it's right way around.
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
Very nice.
Timmy, sometimes the reason we never say anything about a lot of people's work is we're still drawing.
we're still drawing, or we're talking to each other.
We're talking about movies.
That's
We're talking about something, and so what I guess I'm also just trying to give people an excuse to keep coming back.
Is that a collage?
Yeah, that is definitely a collage.
That's awesome.
You
Never
can see
thought
that.
about a collage, but that's a great idea.
That's our first collage, I think.
Yeah.
That's
That's
beautiful.
great, Addie. Awesome.
Nice job, Addie. You've been doing some great work, Addie. I look for your portraits every day.
Good shape there. See, the thing is, what I'm seeing here, just about everybody is getting good shapes. You know, they really are getting good shapes.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Yep.
Very nice. Sweet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Here's our guy.
That was the first photo, Victor.
Nice shaping there. Look at the
Oh,
shapes.
sorry.
Oh,
Wow.
Well, that's all shape.
It is. You know, it's nice. You know, give that person another 15 minutes and it'll kill.
Yep.
Beautiful. That's good.
Cool.
That's nice stuff.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. Yep.
Very good, Victor.
beautiful.
Nice shapes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's
Mr. Kimball.
getting some good definition of shapes. Look at that one.
Oh, that's super cool.
Green Addie again. Way to go, Addie. Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That back up. That looks like
Wow.
Saddam Hussein.
Where in the world is Saddam Hussein?
Yeah. Really, well, the brushwork on that is really nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
Nice one,
Way to go,
Chuck.
Chuck.
Oh, cool.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow.
And they took a
man.
page from Chris Payne on that.
There we go.
That's really sweet.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
Nice.
Looks like Bob Peak underdrawing. That's fun.
Gearing up for tonight's drawing event.
Who did that? Back
We-
up.
That was AJ.
Yeah,
That's funny.
that's funny. We got a smaller group tonight, so
You go to Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, we went to Instagram first. We're doing
Facebook.
it in reverse.
More people post on Facebook than they do Instagram in here.
Yeah.
Or they post on Instagram after. Uh-oh, we just lost Timmy.
How'd that happen?
I don't know.
He'll be back.
He'll be back.
Give him a second.
I've got another movie for him to look up. Bill, did you ever see Pandora and the Flying Dutchman?
No.
Ooh, man. Yeah, write it down. James Mason. See, James Mason was in it along with Ava Gardner. So Ava Gardner's worth it right there.
Oh, well, yeah. Anything with the Gardner's in.
But it's the photography in it is just incredible. And that was Jack Cardiff.
Cool.
I don't know how good these are going to look. Hold on. Tell me if Timmy comes back in the room.
They didn't get a power outage there, did they?
Maybe. There he is.
There he's back.
Hey, you got booted.
Still no VoIP. He's no audio.
Timmy?
Hey guys, sorry about that.
You have power outage?
Basically, yeah.
Are you okay? Because
I am okay.
Okay.
We're okay. Everybody, we're okay. There we go.
Do you have storms in that area?
No, we have a power cable shortage issue here.
Oh, okay.
These are fun.
Sorry, everybody.
That's okay. Welcome back.
Is it okay if I show them like this, Timmy?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
See, I mean, the thing that gets me is I'm seeing just about everybody is getting real. I don't know whether it's because we're doing this week and week and week and week and we're driving home that point of shaping. I mean, everybody's looking and they're getting the shapes right almost from the very get-go.
Yeah.
Are you saying we've manifested this?
Look at that person with texturing the paper. Look at that. I mean, good God.
That's fantastic. Nice, Devin. Well, this guy needs some help.
A lot of help.
We had it all the way to there. No, very nice, Bill. I like this.
I haven't even taken pictures yet of mine to post.
That's a nice one, Devin.
Love the hair.
Yeah.
It is. You can really.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's see if I can.
nice.
It's interesting. There's Neeson again.
Liam
Neeson.
I've got special skills.
Look at that.
That's really cool.
Wow. Super. Again, I mean,
Nice, Roberto. Nice.
yeah.
Cool.
I like that green. Nice touch. Who is that? Nice
That is
green.
Brian Lutz.
Oh, is that Brian?
Yep.
Way to go, Brian, man.
Oh, those are cool.
Hartford comes through again.
So it looks like they did part traditional, part digital.
Oh,
That's nice. That is nice, Gary.
Those are
Way
cool.
to go, Will. These are fun.
Nice.
Is that Will again?
Those are cool. That one looks a little like Hussein too.
Peter Castle.
Very nice.
That's great.
Oh,
Nice, Peter. This thing kills me, Chuck. It's great.
there's so much color in that. It's incredible.
That's really well done. I love the texture versus the difference of the paint texture. Really, really works well together. It's almost like he knew what he was doing. This is a nice one, Cassandra.
That's really cool.
Nice, Randy.
Yeah.
There she is, Felicity.
That's a great one.
Oh, nice, Brandon. That's fun.
Yep.
Oh, that's really cool too.
Okay, where was I for this?
Missed that pose.
It
Nice drawing though.
is. Really nice counter change.
Yeah.
Hey, Anna,
That's cool.
looks good. Wow. Very good.
I've been enjoying Addie's post this last week. So,
Yeah, Facebook, all the portraits she's been doing.
yeah. Really gorgeous stuff.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's really nice.
Right.
Ooh,
Yeah.
head is fantastic. Whole thing is.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah,
There you go, Brian.
John, what we're gonna have to do for the t-shirts is like you either pay $20 for it or you send your best piece to a PO box.
Is that Brian again?
Yeah.
That was Brian again.
Way to go, man. The guy has got it going. Way to go, U of H.
So is this Roberto from, I got to think about it. Is this our VAP Roberto? Timmy, can you tell?
Yes.
Roberto ended up with the Tom Blackshear demo
Oh, wow.
because
Roberto, if you're in the room, confirm it.
you know, I could be wrong with the last name.
Roberto. Sorry, Roberto.
Yeah, Kava.
Yeah. Roberto, he's here and he is the proud owner of
Of
the
Tom Blackshear's demo,
yeah.
which I'm carrying around in the back of my car right now.
Did you post it?
No, I haven't yet.
John, hopefully nobody's in Colorado Springs.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom gave like asked him if they could figure out the narrative of one of his paintings, what he was trying to depict. And it went on for an hour, people making, taking all kinds of guesses. And then he said, hey, if anybody gets it, and he didn't think anybody would get it. So they got his demo that he did. It was pretty cool.
Oh, he walked into that fan blade.
Oh, that's cool.
These are nice. Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Here you go, Gary. Oh, another good one.
Yeah, look at the shape. I mean, again, I just love the shaping.
Yeah. Very fun.
Gary posts these sketchbook drawings of locations and they blow me away.
Doug Bell.
Here, Doug. Way to go, Hartford. Coming through again.
That's cool too.
And Victor. We saw that one. There's
That's
Felicity
awesome.
again. That's so awesome.
I love the little cigarette too.
If, a couple of things. Number one, if we were giving out prizes and my dad was here to choose the prizes, he would choose Felicity every time. He loved children's work. He loved the naive quality to it.
Well, there's purity to it, too.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous. That's nice, Brandon.
Oh, that's a nice one too.
My dad had a painting that I did when I was like 16 years old. It was the very first painting I ever did. And he kept it. And he told me, like, I was probably 30 before he told me, he said, you finally did something better.
Oh man, that's hard.
But it was totally naive. I mean, I have the painting now. It is pretty cool. The horse, Indian on a horse. But yeah, I remember him telling me I was probably 30 years old when he told me I finally did something better. He pulled no punches.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, that is really nice.
That
Yeah.
Cassandra? Ooh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
it's really beautiful. Nice painting, Cassandra.
Oh,
I don't know if I could have survived that, John.
I don't know if I did.
That's you have resilience.
Wow. Victor, that's a nice drawing.
yeah.
Oof. Yeah, we saw that earlier.
Chuck asked if your dad traded up.
Pardon me?
Chuck Todd asked if your dad traded up to the new drawing.
He didn't ask. He would just take things. I taught you how to do that. Just take it.
That's partly mine. Most of mine.
Right. There's another good one.
That's really beautiful.
Huh. Oh,
That's-
Sherry. Very nice. Like the palette on that.
yeah.
Randy's, we saw that. That's nice, Randy.
It looks like chipboard.
I was waiting for Doug's. I saw this. I was looking. That's nice, Doug.
Yeah.
Waiting for Doug's profile to come up here. I didn't look. Was Montalvo in here tonight?
If I had seen him, I would have. That would have been an upgrade situation.
Yeah, we would have put a camera on him. I need to invite. I'll remember to do that. I'll invite him next week and see
Yeah,
if
Montalvo's in the room. So
Montalvo, you want to draw with us next week? We'll put a camera on you.
I added him to the panel. Montalvo, you don't have to talk if you don't want to. but I gave you speaking privileges.
Hi, Montalvo. Montalvo gets the award for attending the academy, maybe the most and coming from the farthest away.
Oh, look at that purple one.
that's
And
beautiful.
he put it to work. He's a really good illustrator.
John, although you gotta admit though, Bruno is
He's catching them. But Bruno wouldn't be there if it wasn't Montalvo. He's the one who sent him our way.
right.
The shaping.
This is great.
That's beautiful. Nice.
Very, very well done. That's fun. Who did that? Brandon.
Brandon. Reminds me of David's, I think it's David Smith.
This painting or the drawing?
Drawing.
Yeah. The line work's fun.
Yeah.
That Brian there goes again.
Yep.
Man.
That's cool.
there's some real consistency there going, Brian. Great stuff.
There's Cassandra again, too.
Yeah.
He's
Wow.
Peter.
Nice one, Peter.
Very nice. Oh, that's nice, Andrew.
Yep.
That really is. That's got a really fun feel to it. Huh.
That's
I knew something.
There you go. You asked for it.
I knew it.
He asked for it, didn't he?
I wanted it.
He asked for it.
Great. Now we can use that as the promotional piece because we won't. That way we won't be supporting smoking.
It works well for a T-shirt too.
I was thinking too.
Brandon says Felicity did it too. So
These are great.
Yeah.
Really nice, Randy. Wow, those are good drawings.
Yep.
All shape. That's fun.
Yeah.
A little bit more stretch and angular, almost to a Broadner. Very nice.
Nice one, Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right.
I think we're done for the night.
Yep. And I think somebody might be getting kicked out of the group. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, Bill and Chris, you did double duty tonight. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Have fun, as always.
Yeah.
I want to see you guys before we leave.
You
John,
wanna
it's
what?
on your screen, right?
You want me to stay? You say you need me to stay on?
No, I was just going to say, I just wanted so we could say goodbye so people would see us.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no.
See you, everybody.
Everybody. Really
Thank
enjoyed
you. Great night. Enjoyed it.
Bye-bye.
See you guys next week.
You
You got it.